And that girl, a witness to the situation right after the shooting, she was just checking on the welfare of one of her friends, one of the victims in the shooting. Now, there are approximately 3,000 students at Gardena High School, and we were there as many of them were being released from the school for the first time after the lockdown.
Yeah, my son, yes.
A mother and son reunited after more than 3 hours of worry.
I've been here since 10:30, so I'm glad you're all right.
Gardena High School was locked down after a shooting on campus. As soon as parents got the news and saw the choppers overhead, they rushed to the school.
I was real worried because he texted me and told me it was a shooting, so if it wasn't for him texting me, I wouldn't have known nothing. Yes, I'm glad.
Most parents were able to communicate with their kids on their cell phones through calls and text messages.
At Camp 44, a girl got shot in class right now. And that's when I assumed it was in his classroom. And then as the morning progressed with the reports, I found out it was like in another building.
That's how Kevin Valdez found out his son and daughter were okay, but shaken up when they saw guns on campus, and that's what his son said through another text.
So I was here, and I saw them with their automatic weapons pointing them at somebody.
And we want to go now to the new school superintendent of LAUSD, John Davey, now speaking about what happened today.
I made the statement that the entire time I've been here today, I received no what I would call red flags that there is some issue that emerged immediately. And we spoke to the people who know the student. That does not mean we reviewed all the files or his history. Okay. That is correct. Well, we're going to go back this evening and talk with all of the staff who are at the school responsible for this as well as our other schools. We want to take a look at our district policy on this security measure, and we want to determine if we need to make adjustments to that policy as well as tend to the supports of the teachers and the students of the school tomorrow. Both of those things. That's correct. Say that again, ma'am? As you can imagine, she's a remarkable person and very shaken. And so the notion of being able to see something in the classroom, I walked into the classroom and I saw the classroom. It is a very traumatic event. And so we're providing her the support like we're providing students support as well.
You know, a lot of angry parents at home saying they weren't notified. How can you reassure them that another student isn't going to bring another gun on campus tomorrow?
Sorry, excuse me.
We have a lot of angry parents out there who say they weren't notified and talk to us. How can you reassure parents that another kid isn't going to be able to bring another gun on campus tomorrow?
So, you talking about the notification process? I was, right.
One, that a gun was allowed to make it to campus, and two, that parents were not notified.
We don't allow a gun to come into campus. The student violated both the law and the rules and the criminal system by bringing a gun into campus. We have a policy that we're going to determine whether it needs to be changed or augmented. And as far as notification goes, we use the process that we currently have in our school system. And two parts. One is if this process needs to be improved, we'll do that. And parents have to make sure we have the correct contact information so that when we trigger it, it does reach them.
To go further with that,
yes.
Anyway, I mean, you can't possibly check 3,000 students every day or major.
At every single campus.
You can't do that, obviously. What can you do? I mean, have you thought about this?
You know, I certainly have had thoughts in my mind as I've been walking through here and doing the work of this situation here at school today. One of the things is the obvious. Do we increase the randomness of this? Do we target on a random basis a whole school? So there are things that we will consider this evening, and as I said before, unless we have an opportunity to learn from all of our schools tonight, I'm not willing to make that as an official recommendation at the moment, so we learn as much as possible.
So this is saying, right now, it's not going to do something right now.
Yes.
It appears to be an accident. The fact that he ran.
That is what they notified. Excuse me. The fact that the student ran, of course, it bothers me that the student even had a weapon on campus, let alone his reaction. Of course it bothers me. I find it beyond tragic. If you set foot in that classroom, you would be as upset as I am around this issue. I don't know what was in the student's mind. What I do know is that it was a criminal act, and I do know that LAPD will appropriately deal with that, and I do know that we have the responsibility to continue to support students at this school and staff. I didn't hear that at all. I also am not able to say that I don't know that yet. because we haven't spoken to its guidance counselors. I mean, the school ended lockdown as a dismiss. The ability to meet with all the staff can't happen right yet.
What do you want to say to the parents when this is going on? I mean, there are many parents that are afraid, well, this is supposed to be a safe meeting for, what do you want, what reassurance can you give them starting tomorrow morning with their kids come back?
First of all, and that is, we are absolutely committed to doing everything within our power to provide both support and safety at every school in Los Angeles Unified, including Gardena. And that here, staff is prepared to work with your sons and daughters and guardians tomorrow. And second of all, it's very important that they understand that we will take all the measures that are within our ability to ensure safety. It appears, as has been reported by LAPD, and I am saying that it appears that this was not a targeted or deliberate act, that it was accidental. It doesn't change how serious this is whatsoever. It does change the context of motive in terms of that going forward. But I'll also wait to have that confirmed with me this evening as well. Oh, absolutely. Crisis counselors are already here. They will continue to be here tomorrow. There is extra security both at our entrances and inside the campus as well. Okay, so we have staff at the hospital. We certainly were not allowed to make phone calls in. This is an emergency situation at the hospital. It'll be my attempt to reach out to the parents this evening, but the staff and crisis counselors are with them now at the hospital, so I haven't spoken to them yet. I certainly spoke to the faculty, certainly spoke to some of the students who were inside the classroom, the other students in that classroom. I do not have that much history with LAUSD, so I can't tell you if anything like this has ever happened. I'm unaware of that ever happening at Gardena. It's how fast I could get to the school. That went through my mind, and how fast we can put structure of support and security around the school, and that's exactly what we did. I didn't have time to think about the terrible irony of the holiday weekend against the Understood for Nonviolence and this issue. I just didn't have time to think through that. Oh, there's no question about that. I mean, it's a very, very horrible thing, and it's the adult's responsibility is to plan to work through this tonight and the next couple of days. Okay?
What's happening tonight for the principal tonight?
With my staff, our policy staff, you were the one who would ask the questions relative to is this policy enough? That's what we're going to review this evening. We also want to survey other principals and other parts of the district in terms of assurances around the policy implementation. Obviously, find out about the students who were in the classroom by doing a survey once the school calls those parents and the students who were injured.
And then tomorrow morning, what parents are meeting, they want to talk to you?
The school has a meeting with parents tomorrow morning and a meeting with the staff tomorrow morning.
And what time is parents?
There's a meeting tomorrow morning scheduled at 8 o'clock in the morning here at Gardena.
They have to be very much.
School will have just started. That's correct.
So obviously you don't know much about this, but you said two instances going to school. What can you tell them about them?
Yeah. What I told you earlier was that we don't disclose information. Obviously, I don't have the right to disclose that information. Two very good students in class doing their work. We're unaware of any issues with those students, and we haven't done a full round of information. Our first response is to provide they and their parents with support around that piece.
What is the emotions are really high?
Very. Emotions. The range of emotions for students was all over the place. Some students upset, some students worried because they themselves might have known the victim of the students who were injured, and also wanted to understand what had taken place. It's a very large campus. Some students were so far away from this, had no idea what had taken place. Staff was equally the same. What I have to say was that it was absolutely remarkable how this staff, and I mean the whole staff, our teachers, our support staff, kept this campus absolutely calm. absolutely quiet, so that the law enforcement individuals could do their job, complete the investigation, apprehend the suspect and the weapon, which they did. And the campus was calm, and so was dismissal. Very lucky to have the staff that they have here. There's no question about that. I'm going to transition, and obviously folks have numbers if you want to connect when we learn more this evening, but thank you. I'm going to do that now.
And once again, that was School Superintendent John Daisy, the brand new superintendent, just appointed last week, as a matter of fact, talking about how his staff tonight will immediately examine all the procedures that made it possible for the student to bring a weapon to school, and they're going to try to figure out as much as possible before they come up with any new recommendations.